Hello you guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well, having yourselves a good day.
Today... And a Merry Christmas. Oh, sorry, I was trying to...
That's all good. Thank God, this is your... No, go
I was trying to help, and then I just came in too late.
Go on, carry on. Say what you're going to say. Yes, Merry Christmas you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ella, I'm 26 and I live in Adelaide. Today we thought we'd sit down and do a Q&A. It's been a while since we filmed one together, like a good 3 years. Was the last time we did one when we did the Say It or Show It?
Yeah, I reckon so, yeah.
And that was Rogue.
That's a lot of people's favourite videos.
Yeah. We just thought we'd answer some questions. We've got our gingerbread houses that we prepared earlier. They look so bad. No gingerbread slander here, please.
We did our best.
We did our best. We were going to make them on camera and we started to, and then we realised that we were about to have a marital breakdown.
It's tricky. We didn't use the right icing and it was just...
I know. And communication problems. Yeah.
I think they look good. I think it looks like a house from The Holiday.
Is it a compliment or a...
I like that cottage.
Cottage.
Just say Jude Law.
Yeah, Jude Law. I like Jude Law.
I know you
I like
wouldn't you?
Yeah, they don't look the best, but they're together. It's erect. It's up.
It's erect.
It's erect. It's up, they're stable. We've had a bit of developmental delay, like our actual house that we're currently building.
Supply issues.
Issues, COVID. They don't look the best, but we're gonna decorate the heck out of them. So who do you think cares? We've got a bunch of goodies. Sour straps, M&Ms, freckles, which cost like $4 for a pack of freckles, and it literally came with like 10 freckles.
They're weirdly hard to find as well.
I know. Alan's freckles, where are you? We had to go to Big W and they were not on sale. You guys will see that in my December budget. January's category. The freckles. Yeah, I asked you guys for questions on my Instagram, so we're going to go through and just taking in turns asking a ton of questions. You guys really came through the goods. Maddie asked, why were you both initially on Tinder? Love you both, by the way, just curious. Thank you.
Thanks, Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie. Love you too. This is an interesting one because I feel like 5 years ago Tinder, it was a thing, but I feel like it wasn't as widely accepted as it is now.
I agree, yeah. I think a lot of people are on apps, they just didn't want to admit it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we owned it.
I was single for quite a long time before I met you.
Are you?
As you know, that. And I was just looking to meet someone, and that's how you meet someone these days. There's not really much more to it.
Yeah.
Me, to be honest with you.
I don't know many people, like many couples that have met in the last few years that haven't met on a dating site. I feel like it's so common to actually meet each other in the wild, like almost unheard of these days.
I feel like I wouldn't have the confidence to approach you in the wild for sure.
Me?
Yeah.
Come on.
I wouldn't.
You would, babe.
Yeah.
What was your reason? Like, what was your...
I didn't really
agenda?
have like a prevailing moment where I was like, I'm just going to be on Tinder. I'm going to go on. Like, I was just on and off the dating apps for a few years whilst I was single, which I feel like is pretty common, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's not really much to it for me. Do you know what I mean?
Do you remember when we matched?
I do remember that, yes.
Was it love at first sight?
It wasn't spelling at first sight.
It was not spelling at... I don't think I've ever told this story. I don't even know if I've told my friends this story. It's really funny. Basically, the first message... So he messaged me first. I don't even remember what you said. It was something like super basic.
Just like hi.
But he called me Ellie. He said,
autocorrect.
Hi, Ellie.
It was autocorrect, I swear.
I don't know if you're new here, but my name is Ella. It's not Ellie. It's Ella. So it was one of those things where I was like, should I reply to this asshole that can't even get my name right in the first message? Like, that was my first impression of you.
Oh, that's good.
But it was almost like, I can make a joke out of this. And then, yeah, we started talking and never stopped. Here we are, 5 years later.
I always say, if you start with a really bad impression, can't get worse.
That's true. I always think about this, like, imagine if I hadn't responded.
Yeah, our lives would be like so different.
Like, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Making these gingerbread houses.
We might be. You don't know. Maybe I would have met you in the wild.
I just don't think our paths would have crossed. Like, we don't really have any overlapping circles. Nothing. Like, I don't know. Unless I met you on a night out. It's really hard to say. Yeah. But anyway, we met on Tinder 5 years ago. Why was I on Tinder at the time?
Are you gonna tell the truth?
I'll tell the truth. And nothing but the truth. I had a couple of reasons why. Firstly, I had just come out of like a serious long-term relationship for like 2.5 years.
What? What
is that you?
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I just come out of a... Oh no, God.
That's all right.
That's looking good, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a vision.
I don't really know what my vision is here, and it's stressing me out.
That's okay. I think you always
like,
come through with the goods.
I know, but I feel like because I'm talking and multitasking, I can never fully concentrate.
Well, when you were doing this setup, that's when I had the vision for this. I'd just like to clarify that this is the extent of my vision. So
after that,
could be in trouble.
Yeah, so I'd just come out of a relationship and I was just, ready to live my best single life. Like, to be completely honest, I really wasn't looking for anything.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I was ready to live my best single life, really focus on myself, which I did do for a good few months. And then I met Nick and the rest is history. I did also maybe want to make a YouTube video
maybe, yeah.
Tinder. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in when did we meet? 2017,
End of, yeah.
2016 era. There was a time on YouTube where a lot of people were making videos about funny Tinder messages that they'd received, and I was like, oh, I can make content out of this. So it was mainly for the content, and then I ended up meeting you. I never making the video because I felt bad about it.
What I would say though is when we did meet, it was extremely natural, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like I'd known you my whole life.
We literally just started talking, like you said before, and just basically never stopped.
Tomorrow is 5 years since we
our
first met.
date.
Isn't that crazy?
This one is directed at me. It says, Nick, what are you most proud of Ella for this year?
That's so sweet.
I know. As you've documented, you've been through some tough challenges recently.
Yeah.
And just the way that you keep your positive demeanor and always get back up and
get back on the horse.
And then just go again and stay positive and don't let it affect you too much. And just go out there and just keep fighting the good fight. Keep on keeping on. No, I'm just really proud. I think that's very admirable. I think people that would face the circumstances that you had through no fault of your own would just fold over. And I would fuck this. But
are you talking about my job or
Yeah, just mainly I suppose your job. Just that was a situation not of your making, and you could have just easily just been this is no good. It's too hard, but you didn't. You stayed positive. You got a good outlet, and now. Have you?
I think by the time this video goes,
and now you've got something that's honestly better for you and your situation. So I think that's a very admirable trait. I'm very biased, obviously, but I'm really proud of you.
Thanks, babe. Ooh, have you thought of names for your future kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have slightly differing views.
We have very different ideas. Actually, no, they've changed and developed, so they almost align. But initially, I've been working on it for the last 5 years. Initially, we had very different ideas. And even now, there's some names that I really like, and vice versa, that you really like, and I'm just no. Some of the names that I really like that you don't. I like the name Carter. I think that's a really cool name for either a boy or a girl.
Oh, no, it's just not for me. I'm not saying.
I think it's a cool name, but it sounds.
Dead leg.
Oh, no. This is 26, guys. Dead legs, bad knees. It sounds very American, I think, and I feel like an Australian accent, Carter.
It's just not for me. I don't dislike the name, just not for me.
I think it's a cool name, Carter Maegraith. What a cool name.
I think what we do have though is. If one of us likes the name and the other doesn't, we're pretty good at finding the common ground ones. Do you know what I mean?
We have names that we agree on. I feel like we have 2 boy and 2 girls names that we are pretty sound.
Yeah, so just need to have a good split and we'll be all good.
And have 4 kids and we'll be all good.
If we have 3 of one, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
No, but what I mean though is we can say we don't like a name without the other one getting grumpy.
I get pretty grumpy.
Without me getting grumpy.
I get personally offended. I'm how can you not see how good of a name this is?
Because I thought that. No, this hit
Oh, this icing is did you try some?
No good.
It tastes plasticky.
What's the most that you've been in trouble for as kids or teenagers, and what did you do?
Oh. I feel like I'm really boring in that respect. I don't know if I've done anything that bad. Has Mum told you any stories?
No, you're pretty squeaky clean. But surely you've done something. Maybe they don't even know. Anything that my parents don't know? Let's keep it that way.
Your parents don't know about anything. You did everything, they just went
Not everything.
I don't see it.
There's just one thing in particular that I'm thinking of that I appreciate if we exercise discretion. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're getting lawyery on me.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you want me to whisper it to you?
Yeah. Wait, say it again. When you lost your virginity.
Yeah. To Ella. On our wedding day.
On our wedding day, yeah. Why did you choose this question if you don't want to answer it?
I do. I'm happy to answer it. Just
okay. Give me an answer then.
There was one time where we went to a party when I was in year 10. We had a goon sack because we're classy, obviously. And then the police came to the party and I had 2 bags with me for some reason. And the police said, "Can I see your bag?" And I said, "Yes." And obviously one of it had the alcohol in it. And I gave them the bag that didn't have the alcohol in it. And they didn't ask to see the other one.
They must have known.
At the time, I was like, I am so smart. Now I'm just like, they took pity on me. Yeah. They were like, this guy, he's tried his best.
Well, I've never been involved with the police. I really can't think of anything naughty. Is that boring? There must be something. Can I phone a friend? Should I ask Mum?
It's not boring.
There was one time in year 6 when I got in trouble with my teacher.
What'd you do?
I went to a girl's house and ding dong dashed. And then her mum told my teacher.
What a dibber-dobber. Grow up.
And then the teacher told my mum at parent-teacher interviews and I got into so much trouble. But the teacher said, "You're doing a really good job, but like just don't ding dong dash."
Don't ding dong dash.
That was probably the worst I've ever been in trouble with my mum, was for ding dong dashing. And it wasn't just me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And it wasn't just her that were ding dong dashing. Like, it wasn't personal.
How does that look? Do you like that?
I like...
No.
That you like it.
You don't like that?
Turn it around. Shut the gap.
Sales strap. What's wrong with that? It's like solar paneling. I'm going with it. Have you got the...
Yours is looking far better than mine. Next question. Do you feel insecure that Nick has his career planned out but you don't? I guess this is a question for me. Short answer, no. Long answer, also no. I just feel like I've been very open and honest about how I'm not really a career orientated person. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's a lot of other things that I find more enjoyable and I get more of a satisfaction and have more of a purpose in life outside of work. And if your career is one of those things for you, then like go off, queen. I also just don't think, like, as well as you have done and as good of a position you're in right now, I don't think you've ever had like your career figured out.
No, it's fair to say that I'm just kind of have fallen into where I am.
Yeah, and like you've done a good job. Like you wouldn't be where you are and you wouldn't be at the level you're at right now if you hadn't put in the hard work and you weren't good at what you're doing.
And I also like it, but it's just like it's not like I strove to be like, one day I'm gonna do this. Yeah. But yeah, no, you shouldn't feel bad.
I don't feel bad.
No, you shouldn't.
I feel very content with working and like the new job that I'm about to go into. I work to live, not live for work.
Yeah, as it should be. The other thing is that I always think is like everything you've done, you've made a really good fist of and done well at, you know what I mean?
Thanks.
And you will continue to do that, I have no doubt.
Thanks, babe. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably the worst gingerbread house I've ever made.
Have you made many?
Probably like 2 or 3 in my time.
What has been the most unexpected thing about being married?
Unexpected? Ooh.
I have an answer, but I think that's what you might say, so I'll let you go first, and then if you don't say...
What, you can read my mind? Most unexpected. That's a hard one. Honestly, it's pretty much what I expected it to be. I just feel like, not that we're, like, our relationship is any different, because a lot of people are like, oh, like, how's married life treating you? And, like, it's good, but it's because our relationship is good. Like, I don't think anything in our relationship has really changed.
No, definitely not. I agree with that 100%.
I just feel like people's perception of our relationship has changed. Yeah. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it's how people treat you.
Which is so messed up, like the fact that you have to be married for people to take your relationship like even more seriously. But I would say that's the biggest thing, like randoms.
Probably older people? Like yeah. not like old, like grandparents' age, but like people of our parents' generation.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, you're married? I think people assume you're a lot older, a lot more mature, but like, let's be honest, as soon as you turn 18, anyone can get married. I don't think it's like a sign of maturity. People can go their whole life in a really good, solid, healthy relationship without getting married. It doesn't make your relationship... Wow, it's looking good.
Thank you.
It doesn't make your relationship any less valid.
Or, legitimate.
But yeah, people's perception, I think, is probably the biggest thing that I didn't expect.
Can I tell you one thing? It's not really a question, but one thing that has not surprised me at all.
What?
People saying, when you have a kid?
Yes.
When are you having a baby? You'll be having a baby soon.
Isn't that weird? It's one thing after another, and I think especially as women, even more so. I guess as a man too. Like when you're single, it's like, when are you going to find someone? When are you going to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Then when you have a boyfriend, when are you going to get engaged? And then when you actually are engaged, like when's the wedding? When you're married, when are you having a baby? When you finally have a baby, like when's the other one? It's just never ending. Like when does it stop?
Doing that, because what if you don't want to have kids, or what if you can't have a child, or what if you're trying to have a child?
Yeah,
that would just be like heartbreaking. Having now been married and living it, you know what I mean? If you were trying to have a baby and you couldn't, or whatever, you'd just be like, can you fuck off? Sorry.
Aggressive.
That's just how I feel.
No, I agree.
On a more pleasant note, That's how we're tracking so far.
I have not even done anything. I can't. This isn't a question, but I think this is a really sweet message. Victoria said, thank Nick for his support of you while you create amazing content for us. He's a gem.
Well, that's so nice. Thanks, Victoria.
If you had to move to another state, which would you pick? That was another question. A lot of people said, like, would you ever move interstate?
Would I? Yes. Do I think I will? Probably not. And if I had to move, I would probably pick Melbourne or Sydney. Probably with the job I have right now, Sydney would be the most likely because all of my team except for me is based there. But I actually really like Melbourne. Like, Melbourne is a sick place in my opinion. Yeah,
I love visiting Melbourne. I think Melbourne's really cool. I don't know if I would ever actively want to, like, I don't have an urge to be like, I want to move to Melbourne, like some people do.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose, it would probably be Melbourne.
What about overseas?
Would I ever move overseas?
Yeah.
Again, I would never say never, but probably not. Like, it's not something I would actively go out of my way to do. But maybe, like, who knows, like in 10 years, 10, 20 years time, we might change our mind.
Exactly.
It's really hard to say. But at this point, probably not.
Yeah.
I feel like we've both done the living abroad thing individually. And I think we both really learned the value of home and being around friends and family, and I feel like we both learned a lot from those individual experiences. If you guys don't know, Nick lived in England for what, 6 months?
6 months, yeah.
To play cricket, and I lived in Canada for like 2.5 years, and so
I think they know that.
No, everyone does.
Really?
Yeah. Well, if you're new, like, are you gonna know that?
True. Oh no.
Disaster.
It's all falling apart.
I would help, but I'm too busy making arrangements for the house.
Oh, I've only done the same. Ish.
So no, I don't have any desire to live abroad, but never say never. What about you?
Same.
I feel like we're on the same page about that. We're married. We've had discussions.
We've discussed that, yeah.
Although it would be kind of cool, like right now, if we went to have kids in the next few years, just like we could go live in.
That's alright. That's all good. All my marshmallows just fell off.
It's like a chain of them. It looks like a caterpillar. This question's for you. What does Nick do for work, and does he enjoy his job? I'm glad someone asked this because I actually have no idea what you do.
So I work as a lawyer, but I work in-house counsel, which means I work for a company and we provide them internal legal advice. So like, we're not taking any clients off the street.
Off the street? Yeah.
We're just like representing people.
Is that what they say, off the street?
Yeah. And yeah, I enjoy it. I'm actually not admitted yet, so I can't like go to court, but that will be in February next year, and then I'll be a full
big boy lawyer.
Yeah. And yeah, I do enjoy it. It's very varied because it's an in-house role. It's a bit less specialized. Whereas if you worked in a firm, you would probably get the same. I imagine. I've never done it, so I can't comment, but you get the same or similar. But no, it's good. I work with a lovely team, very supportive.
Yeah, it's a really good company to work for as well.
And I feel like I've just learned a lot since I've been in this role, because even though I've worked at the same company for 4 years, I've only actually been in my current role for a bit under a year. And I really, and yeah, no, it's a really good challenge, and I have enjoyed it. It's been intense at times, but I think we're getting there, and looking forward to the break. Tomorrow is my last day of work for the year.
Do you guys have a celebrity hall pass? No. But if you had to choose...
I just pointed at you because you're a celebrity.
I'm not a celebrity. If you had to choose a celebrity hall pass, who would you choose?
Nah, I don't, no one.
That's a good answer.
No one. There's not one that I would choose.
Okay, you choose one for me, I'll choose one for you.
Wait, so I have to choose you a man?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
choose carefully, please.
We actually just watched The Holiday. Because it's Christmas, and Ella, she got quite excited during the holiday, and for that reason, I'd have to choose Jack Black.
Jack Black. Honestly, I could go Jack Black.
I've been told I look like Jack Black on occasion.
You really look like, what's his name? The actor. Is it Chris?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
I don't see that at all.
No, put your face there. I'll put his face on my face. There's a bit of Chris Pratt, a bit of Liam Payne about you. Like a little bit. I'm not saying you look like them. Yeah, he's cancelled now.
Sold 1 billion records. Most successful. Yeah. So no, I'll choose Jude Law for you because I know how much you love him.
Jude Law?
Yeah.
I would go Jude Law. Can I choose someone else for myself?
Let's choose some for each other. Okay, that's a good one, but I'll choose that as someone different for me. Yep, no, go ahead. Yeah,
or it was kind of like similar vibe, like very like older men, like at their peak, their prime.
Daddy.
Gerard Butler, who I actually met in person, so like could have happened. Yeah. Could have happened.
Is that the guy from Angel Has Fallen?
Yeah.
Fuck, he's mine too. He's yeah, I love that guy.
If I had to choose for you, I would choose. I feel like you want me to choose either Hilary Duff.
No.
That was his first crush, was Hilary Duff. Or Taylor Swift.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what to do with this, and how does everyone make this look so good? I was going to post a poll on my Instagram story saying whose looks better, but I don't want to anymore.
Were you expecting a win?
I'm expecting a win, and I've lost complete creative.
Very interesting.
Stop! It looks so bad. I don't know what to do. What?
There's one here that says, do you think you could build your own home and it be structurally sound after building the gingerbread? And I'm going to have to give that an emphatic no.
I mean, I'm honestly glad that they're just staying up. That took like an hour's worth of work. This is an interesting one. And I was talking about this when I went to Brisbane with Georgia and Rachel and Kirsty. When did you know that you had found the one? Because we were talking about it, like, did you ever have a moment where you're like, this is the one? Like, was it love at first sight? How did you know? And I really don't feel like I ever had a moment where I was like, he's the one.
Yeah.
It's just very gradual. And I feel like as you go through life together and experience different things and like figure each other out and even figure yourself out, I feel like you naturally, I don't know.
I remember having a moment when we were a couple of months, like maybe 2 or 3 months, and we were just together, and I would just remember thinking, oh, this is a long term, like this is going to be a long term thing. We're going to be together for a long time, I can just tell.
Yeah.
But I don't remember having like a light bulb moment where, oh, she's the one. I think, like you say, it just becomes apparent after a while.
How did you know that you wanted to marry me? Because that was your choice, ultimately. Well, I mean, I said yes, but...
I just started
You think about it and talk about it.
Think about it, and then you're like, that's a good idea. You just think about it once, and then you think about it again for a while, and you go, I want to do that.
And I feel like you're the kind of person that once you decide something, you do it.
There was a night where it was just me and a few of my close friends, like 3 of them, and we got really drunk.
Yeah, that's beige.
And I said, I think I'm going to I want to propose to Ella, right?
Yeah.
And then their reaction, they're like, yeah! And we're like jumping around, like hugging each other. And I was like, I'm gonna.
I like this bit.
That's good. Let's do it. Let's go for this.
Oh, this one's funny. Whatever happened with Nick's suit at your wedding? Did it turn up at the dry cleaner in time? If you guys didn't see my wedding week vlog, there was a whole saga with the suit not being
dry cleaned
in time, which was not your mum's responsibility, but she was taking care of that on your behalf.
She said she'd do it, but it's not her fault. I think they told her Thursday.
Yeah.
And then Thursday came and it wasn't
there. And then it was Friday and it wasn't there. So I think we got it back, Friday night? But it all turned out in the end. And you know what? I think some people assume that maybe you didn't get it back because you're wearing a different suit from all the boys.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But that was always our plan. He was always going to wear a different coloured suit from his groomsmen because he wanted his own moment. And it looked good. And that was the suit that you felt the most comfortable in, that looked the best.
I think, to be honest,
I'm really happy that we did that. I think it looked really good.
I think so. I've seen lots of people do that recently as well, or like a different jacket.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, if I was wearing that, if we didn't get the suit back, I would have got the same suit as the boys.
It wouldn't have been our original vision, but that was a nice suit that all the boys were wearing, and it actually fit you well too.
Yeah. That's But then, like, they might not have had it. You don't know.
I know. It would have been
stock. I'm sure it would have worked out, but I don't even want to think about that.
Every time we think about the wedding and like the actual wedding day, it's such a nice memory, but I instantly get anxiety from how stressful it was and like everything that went into it.
It was a little bit stressful.
It was very stressful, but the best day. So worth it. Oh, this one is fitting. Any wedding regrets and overall wedding advice?
No regrets.
No regrets. Actually, no, I do have one regret, even though I've always said I have no regrets. I wish we had gotten someone to take more photos on their phone. The only photos we had were like 2 days later that we got back from our photographer and videographer, which were great, but it would have been so nice like the night of the wedding on the next day to have I feel like we had like a handful. Wish I'd been more intentional about getting like a nice photo. Like we didn't have any nice photos of us. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Until we got it back from Taylor and Grace.
Yeah.
Which was like well worth the wait, and it was it felt like a lifetime, but it was literally like 24 hours. Other than that, no regrets. Any wedding advice? I would say just like do whatever you want. And it's such a general piece of advice. Have the wedding that you want to have with you and your partner.
I think as well, like actually really flesh that out when you get engaged.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, really work out what you want to do, and then once you work it out, stick to that. Yeah.
Because everyone and their mother has their opinion. People come out of the woodworks that you didn't even know existed, thinking that they should be invited to the wedding or that you should do your wedding in a certain way, and it's just like, no, it's not the vibe. Yeah, I feel like if you stick to your guns and you do the wedding exactly how you want to, then you won't look back with regrets.
And the other thing I would say, right, is just, this is so cliche, and when people said to me before we would get married, I was like, oh, mate. But just really take in every moment, because it honestly goes so quickly.
So fast.
And
it's like the quickest day ever.
You're doing like thing after thing. It's like such a momentous occasion in your life.
One thing I'm really glad that we did is, and this wasn't intentional, it was never part of the plan, but I'm really glad that happened. We had a bit of time between getting our photos, like our bridal photos taken, and the reception actually starting and everyone being seated, for just us two. And we went back to the hotel, like the hotel lobby, and just sat there for like 15 minutes just chatting and like catching up on the day, because we hadn't seen each other for like a whole day and a half. Like we had so much to catch up on, and like, yeah, that was the best. Just have 15 minutes, just the two of us.
Do you think if you had a time again, you would do a first look?
No.
Yeah, no need.
I know it would have saved time and maybe taken away a bit of like the nervousness, but I don't think there's anything quite like, I mean, each their own, but for us, I don't think there's anything quite like walking down the aisle and seeing each other for the first time.
I agree. You literally took my breath away. Also, where did my red one go?
Favorite emotional, mental, and physical qualities in each other. I know what you're going to choose. Cool. What's your favourite physical feature? Babe, come on, tell us. My favourite physical thing about you. That's hard.
Sometimes.
God, you can't say that. My mother watches this.
She's alright.
It's hard to just choose one. Maybe your eyes. You have really nice, like blue, like ocean blue eyes. Like I hope our kids have your eyes.
No, I hope they have your eyes.
With my shit stain.
No, that's sectoral heterochromia.
You know, people think my eyes, I get on the daily messages, is your eye bleeding? And I know it comes out of like genuine concern, but like, no, my eye's not bleeding.
No, but like, that's people being nice as well, you know.
It is people being nice. Like, are you okay? But do I want that for my future children? Probably not. I think it's kind of cool.
I think it's really cool, and one of the first things I noticed about you.
I don't think necessarily you can see it on camera all the time.
No, definitely not.
It's only in certain lights. Sometimes like when I'm taking a selfie, you can see it extra close, because you're moving your eyes around so much. Should I get up close to the camera so you can see what we're talking about?
Honestly, I think it's really cool. I can't lie.
So blurry, but can you see? It's a little brown streak. So yeah, that's my favorite thing. Mentally and emotionally, I feel like those are kind of intertwined.
I'd say so, yeah.
You're very supportive.
Thank you.
Of like everyone, not only me, but like anyone in your life, like your friends and your family.
My favorite physical feature about you is your eyes. No, I like your emotionally, you're very supportive, and you always put others' needs before yourself, but you also know exactly, like you don't undervalue yourself and your time. Do you know what I mean? As I said that, you reacted really poorly.
So sorry. That was very sweet.
Yeah.
But that icing is shocking.
Horrendous, yeah.
Liz asked, how many kids would you like? I feel like that's a tough question. We don't have any kids. We really don't know what like having one kid is like. I've always said 3 or 4, but who knows?
It's really difficult.
It's hard to say until we're in it. And like we might have one and be like,
don't you feel like people with kids would look at people without kids and be like, you just have no idea.
You have no idea. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like fully aware of that. So
yeah, 3, maybe 4.
This is one from Gabby. How does Nick feel with YouTube?
Not Gabby.
Gabby Carmody.
I thought it was Gabby Steed.
No.
You remember the one we met on our honeymoon?
Yeah. I would have said it was Gabby.
She's the best. We met her on our honeymoon. Sweet subscriber. So lovely. What was the question?
How does Nick feel about YouTube?
That's a question for you, love.
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm supportive and I like your content, but it's fair to say that I'm not a huge YouTube man. Like as a rule, like I wouldn't sit down and watch vlogs. Like you, apart from me, you don't watch YouTube. Aside from me, no.
You're supportive, but you don't necessarily get it. Which is fine, like you're not meant, it's like, I'm supportive of your cricket, I don't get it. There's a lot of sex questions.
I know, I've been steering clear of those.
Why? I think they're funny. It's such a natural part of a relationship though. How often do you guys have sex? Soz, not soz?
Well, depends.
It really does depend. I feel like it really varies. Like it really depends on what season of life you're in, how you're both feeling. Sex, this is just me speaking from experience, but my sex drive is so dependent on how I feel within myself, emotionally, hormonally, if I'm feeling confident, like my self-esteem. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so many variables.
Do you think also like in a long-term relationship, you're not like, it's this many times a week. It's just like,
you don't,
it's just when you do it, it's like...
like we could have sex every day and I wouldn't even know. Well, I would know.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
She'd know.
But like, I'm not keeping track. I feel like maybe in the beginning of a relationship, it'd be like, oh yeah, we did it this day. Do you know what I mean? But now I'm like...
Also, in the beginning, I would like be like, if we didn't do it, I'd be like, oh, why didn't we do it? Like, is she mad at me?
Really?
Now I'm just like, oh.
She's mad at me.
She's definitely mad at me.
I also realized my cycle and where I'm at in my cycle, like depending on where I'm at in the month, completely affects that. What would you say on average if you had to answer that question? Because I feel like people are not going to be satisfied with that.
No, I really, I don't want to be avoiding the question, but I just think it depends. Like if
I would say on average, like if we averaged it out, this is such a weird question. On average, because there's like some weeks where you'll do it like every single day.
Yeah, exactly.
And then other weeks where you don't at all.
I just feel like...
And I feel like that there's not a lot of conversation about that. A lot of people say like, if you're not having sex at least once a week, your relationship is in turmoil. Are you not sexually attractive to each other anymore? And that's just not how it is. I would say on average probably even that's like twice a week maybe.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'm done and I'm pretty happy with mine. This is by far the better side, so...
What's an evolution of your relationship that surprised you both? That's a hard question. One thing I didn't realize about having a long-term relationship and like being married and being together 5 years is just how quickly time passes, but how you also feel like you have been together for like ever.
Ever.
Do you know what I mean? It's the weirdest thing. I feel like we just met, but I also feel like I've known you my whole life.
Yeah, no, I get
and
that.
Just like going through life and experiencing different things and like getting to know each other I feel like every day we're getting to know each other and learning how each other works.
Yeah.
And like we're both changing all the time. The evolution of the relationship and the most surprising thing is just like how we've evolved.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say there's any one moment that's like surprised me the most.
And how quickly you become so reliant on each other, but not in a bad way.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like we're codependent, but I also couldn't imagine my life without you. We live very independent lives. We're not afraid to do things independently, but also like I just can't imagine my life without you, and I could cry just thinking about it. Oh no, it's nearly running out of battery. Should we answer one last question?
Sure.
Has Nick ever met your other siblings?
Yes. Obviously I've met Anya and she actually used to work with me.
Yeah, work buddies.
Yeah, work pals. And then I have met Richard as well. When we were in Melbourne, we went out for breakfast. It was nice.
Yeah.
And also
You've met him
he
a couple
came
of times,
yeah, sorry. He actually came here twice.
So yeah, he's met 2 out of 4. Pretty good going. Okay guys, I think I'm done because I just can't mentally do this anymore.
No, it looks lovely.
I really went in with high expectations for myself. And maybe I shouldn't have. You've blown me out of the water.
No.
Okay guys, my battery died, so it's the next day, but I thought I would finish off by showing you how the gingerbread houses turned out. This is Nick's. I think this side is definitely the showstopper with the little snowman. Stop. And then this is mine. Look, I'm disappointed in myself. You don't have to tell me which one's your favorite. I don't want to hear it. We have a clear winner on our hands, I think, but I tried my best. Anyway, I'm gonna end off this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.